And now, live from the waterfront near the Plymouth Rock, you know that stage downtown. Good luck finding parking. It's Greg Simoneau. How's it going, Plymouth? Yes. It must be low tide, right? Get low, get low. Yeah, sorry about the parking situation. Thanks to the local scene for having me. Thank you. Thanks to Dan in the booth. Let's get it. So the hot girl in class, she brought in cupcakes, and her reasoning was, well, you guys were already drooling, so it might be a little less awkward with a cupcake in front of you. And I said to her, I know these cupcakes are for me. And, you just didn't want to seem too desperate, so you baked them for the whole class. I get it. Power move. And she said, and you don't get one. Power move. Touche. Touche. And I was like, oh, playing hard to get, huh? Nice. I like it. I was sort of the Pepe Le Pew in class, you know what I mean? In art class, I painted a white stripe down her back. Right, like that. That was flirting back then. That's how you flirted. And I call this work of art, Baby Got Back by the White Stripes. Went over big. Went over big at the art show. And she said, I'm not dating anyone in this class until I see how these guys eat a cupcake. Got to get that squared away first. And so she's coming around with the cupcakes, and I'm like, here's a power move. Depending on what kind of bachelor you are, how old you are, try this on. She comes by with the cupcake, you pull out a brownie. Sorry, already got a brownie. Power move, right? Power move. But yeah, she's coming around, and I'm like, oh, this is probably my best chance right here. Or it's as close as I'll ever get. I love you. Oh. Dang it. So if the brownie's not working, maybe you can, throw on the charm and be like, oh, thanks for the brownie. Maybe I could make you dinner sometime. Or, maybe my mom can make you dinner because I don't know how to cook. So it'll be her cooking. And she might say, well, chill out. It's only a cupcake. And I'm like, only a cupcake? People get married over this kind of stuff. I don't know. Why do you think they have wedding cakes? And that's bad advice right there. Don't start throwing out marriage and wedding that early. Save that for later. But it's a real risk that she's taken by bringing in her own baked goods. You know what I mean? What if they're nasty? I'm gonna go ahead and cancel that dinner with you and my mom. You know what I mean? Go ahead and cancel that. Sorry about that. Let's be honest, though. There's 0% chance that the hot girl in class's cupcakes stink. Am I right? It's all about presentation. Anyways, you're just going to go, thank you for the good cupcakes today, you. Shut up. Loser. See? You can't pay anyone a compliment these days. There was limited food options outside of your lunch hour, so you're eating that cupcake no matter what. That's for sure. Sometimes when they're bringing around the cupcakes, I'm like, oh, you're sweet, and she's like, thank you. Like, no, I was talking to the cupcake. Yeah, you're okay too. Power move right there. If I had more game back then, I would say, can I get the recipe? Yeah, maybe I'll swing by your house and I can hand copy it. You don't want that secret recipe getting out. I'll keep it in my Trapper Keeper. Keep it real safe. Lock it down. I like to get sweet. Sometimes. Other guys, they might like to get drunk or get high. I like to get sweet. I think that's my move. I remember our first date, I took her to a cooking class so I could show her everything she did wrong. See? Butter. Hey. No. That's bad. But Hostess has come out with these new little mini bundt cakes. It's my new favorite because I like to feel like I'm Andre the Giant eating a regular sized bundt cake. I'm like, this is how Andre the Giant feels. I remember Andre the Giant, he cut this promo one time, and I'm like, this would work perfect if you gave Andre the Giant a cream puff. Cream puff, once I get my hands on you, I'm going to squeeze, and I never let go. And like, oh, yeah, that's a good way to eat your cream puff, Andre. And what about if Andre, he's no longer with us, but what if he made it to the Cheesecake Factory, you know? Bring me the vat of cheesecake. Bring me the whole vat. Well, it's not a real factory, Andre. And bring me one of the gears while I wait. Just eat the gears. No. And if Andre eats the Hostess, you know, then there'll be no one to seat anyone. So you got to watch out. You got to watch his travel plans. I remember sometimes my mom would bring home the KFC, and she'd be like, okay, this is the family meal. You know, I don't know, 12, 18 pieces of fried chicken. You got your mashed potatoes. You got your gravy. You got your mac and cheese. You got your slaw. And then what else does it come with? A free cake. And my mom's like, oh, here's the free cake that came with KFC. And we looked at it, and it was just a chocolate cake with icing on it. We're like, Ma, you made this. This isn't from KFC. It's in a little box and everything, but I wasn't buying it. I wanted my KFC free cake to be, I don't know, with a little chicken flavor to it or something. You know what I mean? How about like a cake in the shape of a chicken leg with like a brown frosting and maybe like little fried skin on top or something. You know what I mean? Now that's a free cake from KFC. Or there's another way you could go with it. You could go with a cake from KFC with the Colonel's face on it, right? And him giving you like a little silly face, like maybe like a little tongue action. And then we'd all fight over the piece with the tongue. Hey, I want the pieces of the tongue. And I might get it and made, like, Mom, take a picture of this. You know, our tongues are touching. Me and the Colonel's tongues. Might be a gross little moment there for you. You know you're getting old when you get your birthday cake or your retirement cake. They give it to you and it's stale. You know, I remember this guy, he retired. He's like, this cake's stale, and we're like, oh yeah, you should have retired 5 years ago. That's when we bought the cake. You know, you held on a little too long there. Now I'm getting older, and I got my candles on the cake, right? And you know you're getting old when you have too many candles on there. You blow those out, and then the rest of the night you have to start and maintain a fire pit. You know, something like that's what's going on there. Oh, great. This is my birthday, right? Okay, just making sure. I'll just build and maintain this fire pit for you all evening. Hope you enjoy it. Welcome to the waterfront, people. Be sure to check out Plymouth Rock. I'm always surprised when I go into a coffee shop and I get a scone that isn't like really hard. I'm like, what magic is this? Who would have thought this would have been fresh? Not me. Nobody had that. Nobody would believe this. And then you get up to the counter and they're like, oh, what can I get started for you? And I'm like, well, you can start a fresh batch of scones for me, because they're usually usually pretty nasty. And because I could tell that these are yesterday's scones by the topography. I wouldn't even do a moon landing on one of these scones, okay? I tried to give one of these scones to my dog last night, and he was like, no. I wouldn't even display an action figure on one of these scones. I've had better scones at McDonald's. McCafe has better scones than you. The McScone is better than yours. Oh, that's saying something. My uncle's in jail, and I passed him one of these scones, and I said, hey, try to break out. Shawshank this shit. Get out. Here comes the lightning, scone. Here comes the lightning, scone. Here comes the lightning, scone. Yeah. He's free now. He's a free man. And I don't know what it is about bakers, but I just think they're attractive, you know? I think it's my brain saying, they're attractive. And I might get some sweets out of this deal. This is definitely a good venture for me. And bakers are never nasty. Like that old witch from Snow White? Here, take a bite of this apple pie. They're never nasty like that. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to. No, I don't think so. Because both you and the pie have hair on your crust. Gross. Hey, what are you trying to groom me right here? What is this? What is this, a Hansel and Gretel situation going on here? Not into it. Not into it. And did I see you pull that pie from your robe? Yeah, I'm trying to cut back on robe pies. Yeah. And can you list the ingredients again? Sure. Cinnamon, apples, poison. Let me stop you right there, okay? Let me stop you right there. Wand to your head. Are you taking the first bite? Huh? Let's go. Let's see. Shh. Rat. I like it when they have open a new Walmart and they might have like a big cake for everyone. That's real nice, But what about the online shoppers? What if you do pick up in store and click on free cake because it's the grand opening, right? So you go up there, yeah, I got a in-store order. It says I got some free cake. Yeah, we're out of that. Yeah, we're out of the free cake. No. It's like, Walmart has a training video for this. If we ever open a store, who gets cake? Past employees? I used to push in carriages, collect the carts when this was a Kmart. I'll be taking my free cake now, please. No. What about future employees? My baby here is going to be working at Walmart in the future. It fit right in. Look, I only got one tooth. No cake. Or what about employees whose applications are in process? I just filled out the online application, man. Can I get some cake? None of these people deserve cake. Please click next for the next lesson. And how come the Walmart grand opening cake isn't in the shape of a Walmart, Because I would like to eat the front door off that and be like, this is what Andre the Giant feels like when he eats a real front door. Sometimes I'll make my own Valentines and I'll say, oh, here's your Valentine's Day card. And they'll be like, oh, you're sweet. And I'll be like, oh, yeah. But I like to get sweet on the inside. So are those chocolates in that cardboard heart for everyone? Is that communal? Can I get in on that? And people say, People say chocolates make me less murdery, and I think that's a good statement because, sometimes you're like, can I take a stab at those chocolates? Who wants to cut that cake? Mind if I bite the head off that chocolate Easter bunny? Mind if I devour that family of peeps? I ate the box. All right. Feel like my murder spree urge is gone. Thank you. Thanks. And what's with it? Whenever I get something I made out of chocolate, I'm always going ears first, I'm like, it's like, is that innate, Chocolate Easter Bunny, ears first. Chocolate Bear, ears first. Chocolate Santa, I might go for the boots on that one. And if you have a chocolate JFK bust, I think I'm going nose, right? After someone's taken the photo of it, let me get another one just so we have a picture of this JFK chocolate bust. Okay, go ahead. I might give it a little chocolate kiss first before I eat it. I don't know. Hershey's Kiss. Chocolate makeout chocolate makeout sesh. I don't know. JFK bust, Marilyn Monroe bust. Why not? And is it a party situation or am I alone with the chocolate bust? I might be going nose. I might also. Then the Marilyn Monroe bust comes to life. Whoa, what's that? Why did I just hear a zipper? Why are the lights getting dim in here? Start singing, Marilyn. Then the JFK bust comes to life. Ask not what the chocolate bust can do for you. Ask what you can do for the chocolate bust. And then I'd be like, okay, well let's play motorboat or motorcade, right? I'm gonna motorboat the Marilyn Monroe chocolate bust, and I'm gonna motorcade the JFK chocolate bust. And chocolate busts aren't just for popular figureheads of the 1960s. What if we had a Taylor Swift chocolate bust? I think that would be nice. But I'm not going to eat that. No way. I'm going to keep that one safe for the resale value. It's going right in the freezer, right next to the Taylor Swift frozen pizza, the Taylor Swift ice cream, the Taylor Swift steam fresh vegetables, and the Taylor Swift Italiano ice. And my wife will be like, well, Greg, I got to use the freezer. It's not just another room for your collectibles. And I'd be like, okay, she's got a point. And then she'd probably say, after a little while, this has been in here since the Eras tour went on Disney Plus. Think we could get rid of it now? And I'd be like, no one touches Mother. Stay away from it. And then she'd be like, hey, have you been making out with it? Because it's starting to melt and starts to look like Miley Cyrus now. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right, it's trash. Pew. And she'd be like, okay, now that we got rid of that, what about all that wood in the backyard that's growing moss? You leave that alone. I'm going to build that Evermore hut someday, all right? It's one of my projects. But I'm not a competitive eater, The idea of dunking a hot dog in water, just grosses me out. If my hot dog bun even gets a little bit of water on it, I'm like, oh, gross, The guy at the tournament would be like, and in last place, Greg Simoneau with 4. And I'd be like, yeah, all right. I ate 4. That's a record for me, I wasted most of my time looking for toppings. Got any Dijon up in this tournament? This tournament got any onions? Meanwhile, everyone else is eating hundreds of hot dogs by dunking them. Gross. Not a competitive eater, but if we're sharing a dessert, game on, right? Start clanging spoons in there. I'll be one to get a take-home for dish for my dessert, you know? Oh, you left the prime rib back at the restaurant. That's okay. I got the New York cheesecake right here. Yeah, right. Like there'll be any New York cheesecake left. And when I'm on the cruise, after the meal, I always look at the menu, the dessert menu, and I say, oh, I'll take one of each, all right? And a good little, cute little cover for this is say, it's for the table. I'm going to share it. It's for the I want to try them all. And pound cake. Man, I pound the hell out of pound cake, right? If there's a pound cake at work, that thing's not lasting till lunch. I'm eating that whole thing. And I'm not pounding it like in a sexual way. You know, that's gross. There's a term for people that have sex with sweets. Yeah, the term is gross. Yeah, kind of gave it away. I think a missed opportunity for back in the day was pound puppies should have came with pound cake. You know, like a pound puppies easy bake oven crossover. That would have been like a nice dual package there, I think. No, it's just pound cake. Just thinking. Somebody left the Keebler Elves in the easy bake oven. Oh no, the tragedy. Well, at least the cookies are slightly warm. Nah. Sometimes when I'm leaving a party, my wife will be like, oh, did you get any of the dessert? And I'd be like, oh, no, I didn't. She's like, yeah, you're too busy drinking. And I'm like, no, hold on. I wasn't too busy drinking. You know, I can drink when the dessert comes out, stop drinking, eat the dessert, and then go back to drinking. That's not how I miss the dessert. I've been known to go back to a party and get the dessert. I think I left my coat somewhere. Oh, there was dessert. Oh, okay. Didn't notice. Yeah, I didn't notice that before. Yoink. Some people say, I have a sweet tooth. And, maybe that witch from Snow White, she has a sweet tooth. I have a sweet mouth. You know what I'm saying? If I was a shark, I would only eat jellyfish and Swedish fish and seahorses. Seahorses, the peanut brittle of the ocean. And if I was a shark, I would only do the fish sex with the hammerhead shark, I think. I think that would be my ideal. You know what I mean? Like, I would say to her, hey, you never look me in the eyes when we're doing it. She's like, what? 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 That's kind of my thing. I'm a hammerhead shark. What? And on Shark Week, they'd get some footage. You know, the divers would be like, what's going on over there? And I'd be like, jackhammering away. Yeah, we're putting in a new road here in the coral reef. Just jackhammering away. And then we'd probably break up, because the hammerhead shark was an insensitive tool. Sorry about that. Sometimes my dentist says, Greg, you might want to ease up on the candy a little bit. I'm like, no way. I'm going so my teeth look like candy corn. A little bit of white on the bottom, orangey in the middle, and brown at the roots. Pumpkin spice candy corn. I'm almost there. Thanks, Doc. I'm not a binge eater either. You know what I mean? I saw this after school special with the mom from Family Ties once. The whole thing. No, not doing it. But if tomorrow's the recycling day, and there's only 4 cookies left, and that plastic has to go in that bin, I'm eating those 4 cookies. And I'm eating them like this. I'm saving the world. I'm saving the world. You know, there's a... I mean, most people know this, but there's a Marvel character called Galactus. And he'll eat whole planets, right? And he came for Earth one time, and I was like, oh, no, this ain't going to be good. He's going to eat Earth. He's going to eat Mexican on top of Italian. Oh, that is not going to be good for Galactus. Luckily, they talked him out of it. He was gonna shit an asteroid field like the Milky Way. They're gonna have to rename the Milky Way because this one would have been right there. And then Galactus gets home and he's like, oh, and his wife's like, oh, so where you been? You know, he's like, oh, I just ate Earth. She's like, you ate Earth without me? I was saving that for our anniversary. I was saving that for our anniversary. Oh, sorry. And she's like, well, did you at least eat mercury first as like an antacid? I told you to eat mercury first. That's like me with, sometimes I gotta eat Tums beforehand. You know, a little pregame, a little preemptive strike, you know what I mean? Luckily, the Silver Surfer talked him out of that. That would have been bad. Oh. So, just going to have to end it right here. Thanks a lot, Plymouth. You can catch me in the upcoming film, Death by Chocolate 3000. Okay, we got the JFK bust played by Kingston's own Chris Cooper. And the hot girl in class with the cupcakes is by Florence Pugh. And look for me in the back. I'll be right in there somewhere. Thanks a lot.